Go ahead.
In an effort to pry the window open a bit wider into the president's thinking on the Supreme Court.
Sure.
What is the thinking here about some of the pushback that's been aired on the left with respect to Judge Michelle Childs in South Carolina? Does the president reject that criticism that she hews too, or has hewed too closely to corporate interests?
Well, I think what some of the criticism I've seen out there is related to her labor record. If you look at South Carolina, the AFL in South Carolina endorsed her and has been supportive of her. I think the president, in response, or just to go back to Ed's question, which I think is similar, the president is not interested in public griping or in lobbying campaigns or efforts to trash other candidates. He is going to keep his blinders on, look at the qualifications, the cases, the backgrounds, the credentials of these eminently qualified nominees. All of the ones he's considering would make excellent qualified Supreme Court justices, and that's where his focus remains.
On background and qualifications, how important is it to the president that his choice have served as a public defender?
Again, I'm not going to get into any more specifics of the qualifications. You have a short window left before you will know probably who he has selected, and you will have more, I'm sure, analysis to do at that time. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. On the stalled Fed nominations in the Banking Committee, Chairman Brown said today that he's refusing to move the other picks separate from Sarah Bloom Raskin. He also said that he spoke to President Biden and that President Biden is standing by Senate Democrats on this. So is the White House backing that strategy of holding all the nominees up and essentially waiting for Republicans to show up at the Banking Committee to vote?
Absolutely, and I was in the Oval Office when the president spoke with Senator Brown, so I can confirm, not that there was any doubt, that he conveyed exactly that to the senator, that he agrees that Republicans are AWOL on the fight against inflation, and at this pivotal moment in our economy, everyone understands we need a full Federal Reserve Board, the first one in nearly a decade to tackle inflation and bring prices down for American families. So no, we are not advocating for splitting the nominees. We support Chairman Brown's decision to keep all 5 on the Fed board, pushing them forward through the committee, and we believe Republicans need to do their jobs and show up to vote for these nominees.
You've spoken about the urgency with inflation and other issues facing the Fed, but given that Republicans have shown no signs of bending and that the Senate is poised to go on recess by the end of the week, I mean, how likely or unlikely is it that we're going to see a vote before the end of the month on these nominees?
Well, I would point you to Chairman Brown for that. He is very committed, and I'm sure, and I think as you've seen him publicly, he can be quite a bulldog when he wants to get something done. So we support his efforts to get these 5 nominees forward. There's a couple days left, and all we're asking is for Republicans to show up and do their job. They can vote against people, but not showing up is not delivering on the commitment you made to the American people when they elected you.
Lastly, on that issue, Senator Toomey was at an event where he said he believed the Fed was basically able to perform at full strength even without the confirmed nominees. Your reaction to that?
I think there's no question that having a full federal board fighting inflation at a time where that is the stated #1 concern of many Republicans, many Democrats, and many in the American public would be the ideal scenario here. Go ahead.
You said a couple times just now that the president is not going to be swayed by lobbying efforts, but I'm wondering if that's the case, what does he make of Congressman Clyburn's pretty aggressive push for one specific judge, Judge Childs? Does that count as lobbying? Is the president listening to that? This is obviously someone he has in high esteem and is close with.
Of course he does. He has him in high esteem. He is close with him. But again, the president, who is someone who has been through a number of these processes before, who's overseen hearings, who has played a role as vice president in helping select incredible nominees and now Supreme Court justices to serve, he's going to consult broadly, and then he's going to look at their credentials, review cases, and make a decision about the right person to nominate for the court.
And I think the only other angle left on the interviews that you have not been asked is, will you tell us when the interviews are complete?
Unlikely. I will tell you, the president will tell you when there's a nominee. The good news is March 1st is around the corner. So, we remain on track and you don't have too much longer to wait. Go ahead.